The world isn't stable. It never was. It's loud. It's violent. It's unpredictable. And most people, they spend their whole lives trying to run from the chaos. They hide from it. They pretend it isn't there. They cling to their routines like it's the only thing keeping them from falling apart. But here's the truth. Chaos isn't the enemy. It's the purest form of energy you'll ever touch. And if you learn how to use it, you stop fearing it. You become it. Chaos scares people because it strips away control. It doesn't care about your plans. It doesn't care about your comfort. It doesn't care about what's supposed to happen. And most people are addicted to control. They need to believe tomorrow will look like today, because the moment that illusion breaks, so does their ability to function. But you're starting to understand something different. Chaos is only a threat to those who rely on stability to survive. If you can adapt, if you can think in motion, if you can make decisions when the ground is breaking under your feet, then chaos stops being a storm that destroys you and becomes a storm you ride. Chaos doesn't take your power. It reveals whether you had any to begin with. The difference between those who collapse and those who rise isn't luck. It's mindset. The ones who collapse waste their energy wishing things would go back to normal. The ones who rise look at the destruction and say, "Good, now I can move without their rules in my way." You stop asking, "How do I make this stop?" and start asking, "How do I make this work for me?" You start with one truth. Chaos is movement, and movement is opportunity. When everything is shifting, nothing is locked in place. And that means the walls people built to keep you out are suddenly not where they used to be. Most people panic when things move too fast. They freeze. They cling to the way things were, desperately trying to drag the past into the present, not realizing the present is already gone. But you begin to think differently. You start looking for the openings. You watch where the pieces are falling, and instead of running from them, you step toward them. You notice how people abandon positions they swore they'd defend forever. How they walk away from opportunities they once fought for. How they drop the tools they were using because they're too busy holding on to what they think will keep them safe. And in those moments, you move in. You take the ground they left open. You grab the resources they dropped. You make the connections they were too distracted to see. Chaos rewards speed. Not reckless speed, but decisive speed. Hesitation in a storm is a death sentence. And now you understand. If you can be the one who keeps moving while everyone else stops, you don't just survive chaos. You grow because of it. You rise because of it. You take what no one else is looking at, and by the time they notice, it's already yours. Once you've mastered the ability to stand inside the storm without flinching, you realize something far more dangerous. You can make the storm work for you. Chaos stops being an obstacle. It becomes a tool, a weapon, a force you can aim. You stop waiting for the perfect conditions because you know they don't exist. You start creating the conditions you need, even if that means shattering the order everyone else is clinging to. You learn how to disrupt their routines. You throw variables into systems they thought were airtight. You change the rhythm so they're always reacting instead of planning. When they expect you to move left, you vanish entirely, then appear where they never thought to look. When they're certain they understand your pattern, you change it so completely that their entire strategy collapses overnight. And you do it without losing your center. Because while they're scrambling to adapt to your chaos, you're already 3 moves ahead. Most people can't think when the ground is shifting under them. But you've trained for it. You've lived in it. You've thrived in it. So when you start introducing the chaos yourself, they don't stand a chance. It's like fighting someone in the dark. Except you built the darkness, you know every corner of it, and you've already chosen where the fight will end. The truth is, you're not just surviving the storm anymore. You've become the one who decides when it starts and who it destroys. You've been through the fire. You've walked through storms that tore others to pieces. You've seen the ground crack open beneath your feet, and you learned to keep walking anyway. Every trial, every disaster, every so-called ending was just another sharpening stone. At first, you thought you were surviving by luck. But now you see the truth. You were adapting. You were evolving. You were becoming something stronger every single time the world tried to break you. That's the difference now. They can't threaten you with instability, because instability is where you've been forged. The moments that make others freeze in fear are the moments that make you come alive. You've learned to read the room when it's on fire. You've learned to see the opportunity when the floor collapses. You've learned to move while everyone else is still trying to figure out what just happened. And this isn't just survival anymore, it's dominance. Because while they're trying to put the pieces back the way they were, you're building something entirely new, something better, something they'll have to answer to when the dust settles. This is the rise they'll talk about, not because it was sudden, but because it was inevitable. Every storm, every loss, every chaotic moment was leading to this version of you. And now that you're here, the only question is, how far will you go before they realize there's nothing they can do to stop you? The moment chaos stops being a threat to you is the moment you become something they can't touch. They can't scare you with sudden change. You've lived through worse. They can't trap you with rigid systems. You've learned how to slip through the cracks. They can't predict you, and what they can't predict, they can't stop. You're no longer reacting to the world's shifts. You're moving ahead of them. You see the tremors before the quake. You feel the current before the wave hits. And you use that awareness to position yourself where the chaos will hit hardest, not to avoid it, but to claim what it leaves behind. They watch you now. They study you. Because they know when you move, something is about to happen. And no matter how much they prepare, they can't prepare for you. You've become a living contradiction, calm in the middle of a storm, but the storm follows you wherever you go. And when you strike, it's not desperate. It's deliberate. It's precise. It's unstoppable. They used to hope you'd fall apart when things got unstable. Now they pray things don't change too fast because they know you'll use the shift to rise even higher. This is the part they'll never understand. Chaos didn't make you unstable. It made you unshakable. And now, the more the world spins out of control, the stronger you get. You were born into chaos, shaped by it, tested by it. It didn't break you, it made you sharper. It made you faster. It made you unstoppable. And now, when the storm comes, you don't run. You step into it. You are it. So let the world burn. Let the plans fall apart. Let the rules collapse. Because, while they're hiding from the fire, you'll be walking through the smoke, claiming everything they left behind. You don't just survive chaos anymore, you've turned it into your power. And that's why no one will ever stop you.